Hi, I'm Susanne Schütz, and this is Cat Sounds Explained by Cat Lady Sweden. And this time we're gonna talk about the hiss. Now, cats hiss in defensive situations as a warning signal and when they are startled or surprised. And hissing is sort of a warning signal. It can be used to scare off other cats or even humans. So it's often used in territorial disputes or also when the cat is being surprised by something, when it startles. And possible meanings, depending on the context of course, can be enough, stop right now, or else, the warning signal as you know, or also just a way of saying you startled or scared me. The body postures and movements accompanying hissing vary, of course, when it's in the defensive situation, as we can see down here. The cat has a very low crouching position, and you can see that the ears are low and flat. But when a cat is simply surprised, it can be sitting or standing, and you often see a quick change in body posture. But the ears can remain straight up and directed forwards. And in these aggressive defensive situations, hissing and the other subtype spitting is in the middle of the distance between the cats. So when the distance is quite far, the cats start to growl and howl and variations of that. But when they become closer, as you can see in this picture here, the hissing and spitting starts. And it's not until the cats have physical contact with each other that the other sounds like snarling, crying, screaming, pain shrieking start. So hissing is in the middle of this distance scale. Some other facts about hissing is that when you look at how hissing is produced or articulated, it's produced with an open mouth, as you can see here in this picture. And it's produced when the cat exhales quickly and forcefully. And depending on where the closest, the most narrow part in the mouth is, the constriction, so to say, can also color the hissing noise in various ways. So if the constriction is further front in the mouth, the hissing is brighter, like a sh, and when it's further back, it's more dark, like a sh, and the sound is relatively short, under 1 second, and as it has no voice, it's voiceless. It consists only of audible noise. I would categorize hissing phonetically as a voiceless fricative, but as I said, the articulation may vary. It sounds a bit like a German ich sound or a breathy sound. And you will see in many of the videos I will show you that hissing is often followed by lip licking, which to me at least is a sign that the cat is uncomfortable, nervous, not feeling quite okay. And I will play you one example of that here. You can see the tongue goes up to the upper lip there. Now, there are two subtypes of hissing. The normal hiss, which is this forceful, steady and noisy exhalation, and it's often longer than the other subtype, the spit, which is more explosive and more sudden, and therefore it's often shorter as well. And spitting often starts with a stop consonant, like a p, t, or k sound, like k, for instance. Right, to give you a few examples of the hiss, I will play you two sounds which have different places of articulation, and therefore the noise has different colors. Let's see if you can hear the difference between these two. Could you hear that the last one was a bit brighter? And I'll play you two videos as well. This one is where my cat Kompis chases my other cat Grey-White, and she doesn't like being pursued by him, so she stops, she lowers, she's crouching, and she hisses to warn him, stop what you're doing. Looks like this and sounds like this. Now, this other video, it's my cat Vimsan and my cat Donna. She doesn't like that Vimsan is too close to her, so she warns her by hissing like this. Now, the spit, as I said, is shorter and more explosive. And first of all, I have a few audio examples of spitting, with different noise color. Did you hear that the last one was darker than the first one? Now, in this video, you will see Vimsan and Donna, and Donna spits at Vimsan. She hears this as well, but she also does this paw stomping into the ground. So pay attention both to the paws and to the spitting. And this next video, you can see that Vimsan is spitting at grey-white and then hissing. And I will play this in slow motion as well, so you can actually see this more explosive way of hissing, which is the spit. So first the spit and then a hiss following after. There are some hiss combinations as well. Hissing is produced in territorial conflicts, any conflicts really, aggressive defensive situations. And I think that's why the distance between the cats decide sort of which warning signals to use. So in this first video, we have Kompis, who wants to get closer to Vimsan, and she doesn't like that, so she produces all these defensive sounds to try to get him to back off. And there are several types of sounds that you will hear, but hissing is part of that. I'll play the video now. He comes back again. He hasn't quite given up yet. But then finally gives up, and Vimsan can have the apple tree all to herself. Now in this video again, we have Donna and Vimsan, and again we have the hiss or a spit and some paw stomping as well, I think. Let's see. And when Vimsan has backed off, she starts to howl to just make sure that I'm still warning you, I can still see you. So to sum up, hissing is an acute warning signal. I've had enough of you, stop, or else I'm going to fight you. But it can also be a signal that says, oh, you scared me, you startled me. And it's relatively short, and it consists only of noise, so it's voiceless. And it's used in both defensive situations or when the cat is startled or surprised by something or someone. 2 subtypes, hissing, spitting, and combinations, of course. And I'm going to finish off by playing you 2 more videos where you can see the articulation of hissing, starting off with Turbo here. And I think there's some lip licking going on in both of these. And in the next video, Donna hisses nervously at Red, a cat that she meets for the very first time. So you can read more about hissing in my book, The Secret Language of Cats, which is available in several languages, or you can visit my project website, meowsic.se, where you can see and listen to more examples of hissing and other cat sounds. So thanks for watching. Cat Sounds Explained by Cat Lady Sweden.